would recognize the member for Edmonton Southwest.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I guess I'd like to begin by quite belatedly perhaps congratulating all the new members of this House and along with those who are returning. It's truly a privilege and honor to join everybody in this legislature. Mr. Speaker, I wish to give special thanks to my friend and colleague, the Honourable Minister of Education, because his encouragement has been exceptional and invaluable to me throughout my political career, and I'm sure it will continue. I'm honoured and humbled to represent the constituents of Edmonton Southwest. I was elected on a platform that promised change, promised new energy, and a promise to do what is truly right for Albertans. Edmonton Southwest is a constituency located deep south and west in the city. This is an area that has seen much growth and prosperity over the last decade. We know that 5 out of the 10 fastest growing neighbourhoods in Edmonton are in my constituency. These people, the people of Edmonton Southwest, are young, they are old, they are working families, they are men, women, and children. They are people who work hard every day and demanded better of their government. And those people made that decision this past election. Mr. Speaker, we enter a new chapter in Alberta history with this legislature. Under a new premier, under a new government, this legislature is committed to serving Albertans. This legislature is committed to serving the people. It's committed to diversifying our economy and getting Albertans and my constituents back to work through these difficult economic times. What the people expect, no, what the people deserve, Mr. Speaker, is a commitment to things like stable education funding. A K-12 education requires that we spend the time and money with our students. It demands that we have enough teachers. It demands that we have enough educational assistants. It demands that we keep these class sizes down. Mr. Speaker, quality student education should never be sacrificed to save a couple bucks. And that's what I'm committed to fighting for in this House. Good government recognizes this, Mr. Speaker. Good government recognizes that when there is an infrastructure debt, the solution is not to cut spending. The solution is to invest in a quality future. And the solution is to invest in a quality future for our children. Investing in this future actually requires investing in ourselves as well. My constituents, Mr. Speaker, are working families. My constituents are people who work hard every day to provide the absolute best that they can. And how do we do this, and how can we help invest in ourselves? We can start by supporting our parents. We can start with providing an affordable childcare program, and that's why I'm committed to protecting our children, our families, and our communities by fighting for a childcare program that will work in our families. This affordable childcare would allow parents to spend more time with their children, and Albertans simply deserve better than to be stretched thin just to meet basic childcare needs. Mr. Speaker, that's what I commit to fighting for every day in this House. It's these small things, these ideas that investing in our children, investing in ourselves, and investing in our families, these ideas are the ones that I was elected on. Mr. Speaker, it's truly an honor and a privilege to be elected as the youngest member in the history of this great province, to bring this much-needed breath of fresh air to this Assembly. I am the youngest MLA in one of the youngest ridings, with many of the youngest families, and it was truly the passion and the drive of these young people that first inspired me to become involved in politics. When I first got involved in politics, spoke at a rally organized by high school students against budget cuts to education. And it's actually at that rally where I met the Honourable Minister of Education. And from that fateful day, Mr. Speaker, from that sunny afternoon, I've committed to protecting the interests of our education system, meeting with and consulting teachers, administrators, and educational assistants, because the needs of our students and the needs of our families is at the forefront of my concerns. As someone who recognizes the needs of the young families in my constituency, and was very recently a member of the post-secondary education programs in this province, Mr. Speaker, it is near and dear to me to commit to advocating for education, students, and teachers. Because when I see schools in Edmonton Southwest at nearly 135% enrollment, it becomes obvious to me that they deserve an advocate, that they deserve someone who will stand up for them in this House and fight for what they need. Mr. Speaker, I am proud, I am excited, and I am beyond thrilled to be a member of a party and a caucus that will allow me to bring about the positive change that this province so desperately deserves. As we heard in the throne speech, Mr. Speaker, we are facing a deep slump in the international price of oil, and we as Albertans must stand together. This government will be forced to make difficult decisions to protect Albertan families by keeping with our core values that Albertans are optimistic people and that Albertans care for each other in their society. Mr. Speaker, this is why I am thrilled to be able to support a government that will stabilize services in a prudent and sustainable way, a government that will stimulate economic growth and diversification, a government that supports job creation, and a government that has a plan for sustainable spending through better decision-making. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to work with a government that recognizes the necessity for promoting job creation and diversification. Alberta's new Democrat government is focused on renewing hope, listening to Albertans, and leading change to create a fair and prosperous future for our province. The last several months that we've been on the job, I've been able to go back to my constituents time and time again with concrete achievements that continue to make things better for everybody in this province, and especially my constituents. I hear time and time again, as I'm out in the community and on the doorsteps, that Albertans are excited about what we've been able to accomplish, Mr. Speaker. They are proud of this government. I'm honored for the opportunity to be part of the caucus that is able to make such a profound difference in the lives of Albertans everywhere, and especially my constituents back home. Mr. Speaker, my constituents deserve nothing less than the best, and I aspire to meet their expectations every day in my capacity as their MLA. Mr. Speaker, I became an MLA because I believe in Alberta. I believe in Albertans, and I believe in this government. Mr. Speaker, it is the duty of an MLA to ensure that their constituents are represented both in this House and outside of it. It's with this province's historic and first new Democrat government that we are able to bring about all of this positive change, that I can represent my constituents and bring about for them what they have asked for and what they deserve. We can provide the schools my constituents desperately need, hire the teachers that our students desperately deserve, and deliver the services that Albertans expect. Mr. Speaker, history was made on May 5th. History was made by toppling a dynasty, and history is forged every day. This Assembly brings forward legislation that strives to support Albertans where they have been ignored before. No member of this caucus put their name on the ballot because they didn't believe in Alberta. No member of this caucus put their name forward for any other reason than they wished they could make Alberta the best province it possibly could be. Mr. Speaker, I am proud to represent my constituents. I'm proud to have ran because I truly believe in this government, and I'm proud to say that I will work as hard as I possibly can to change Alberta so that it can become the best Alberta it possibly can be. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.